Okay, with Shane Kosugi, Seek is the feature film. It's an action film played at the Action Crime Mystery Film Festival. Really action-packed film. And the blog interview, we asked you to describe the film in 2 words. You said kamikaze action. What's
Yes.
kamikaze action?
Well, we were trying to figure out a really nice catch copy that people overseas would understand, and we thought like kamikaze, like all out, no holds bar action would be the easiest way to explain it.
But kamikaze is basically someone dying on purpose
Yeah, yeah.
for the sake
but
of
I,
the country or the sake of a
y-
bigger purpose.
yeah. So, but I mean, um, the main actors aren't dying, but like they are going, full out, not holding back, kind of like a John Wick type of style.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And this is your first film?
this is my first feature film. Yes.
Your first feature film. And
Yeah.
you're an actor, correct? Before?
Yes, I did a lot of action acting before I started directing and behind doing stuff behind the cameras.
And then so you wrote you produced it, you directed it, and then
Mhm.
a gentleman or someone wrote the script too. So where did you go?
Yeah.
How did you collaborate on this feature?
So yeah, we basically started this project out with a short film.
Okay.
So we made a pilot, and actually, I think we sent it out to your festival the year before in the
Okay.
short film section. Yeah, and so this was basically to create like a good pilot
Like a
version
proof of
of the
concept,
feature.
I guess.
Yeah, basically, and so like that's how it all started, basically.
And you could pick the scene from the film?
Well, we basically just picked out like the short version of it, and then for the feature, we made the extended long version of it.
Okay. So
Yeah.
this has been a project in the works for a long time.
Yes, exactly. Like I would think I thought of the story around 5 years before we actually made it, and then I started developing with the main actor. I think it was half a year before we actually shot the pilot version, and then after that we started thinking about the full feature film version, and so we had to like ask other like script writers and other ideas for from other people as well. So
So the main writer helped. So the main actor helped write the script as well.
exactly.
Gotcha. And where did you guys first meet?
Okay, so this is a funny story because he's actually 10 years younger than me. He is 38.
Okay,
And so
that would make
my
you 48 then.
yes, exactly. Nice mathematics
Yeah.
there. So yeah, so my background is basically my father started the ninja boom craze in the U.S. and overseas. His name is Sho Kosugi. I have an older brother named Kane Kosugi who does action films as well. And so I was born and bred in the movie industry as well as doing martial arts and
Okay.
action as well. So after I graduated university, I actually moved to Japan to work and do films and do like TV and like learn more martial arts in general.
Okay.
Um, and during that time, the first year that I was in Japan, my father made an action school.
Okay.
And so I was like the supervisor. I was managing the school as well as doing acting and doing other entertainment industry types of work. And actually, the first one of the first students at that school was the main actor,
Okay.
and so I've known him for since he was in junior high school, so like 20 years or something like that.
Okay. But so you grew up in like Los Angeles yourself?
Yes, yes,
Okay. So your parents are, but your dad like worked in the film industry.
exactly.
It's like in stunts or like in as an act. Like what did he do?
So yeah, so he was the main actor. He did like the ninja movies in the 80s, 90s. His name is Sho Kosugi. So he did like Revenge of the Ninja.
Okay.
He actually what was it? Revenge of the Ninja. Nine Deaths of the Ninja, The Domination. He actually did a movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme in Black Eagle, et cetera, et cetera. So I mean, he worked in Hollywood as well as he did movies in Japan as well. So
Gotcha. And you were in that film as well, right? You just Revenge of the Ninja.
yes, exactly. So like when we were younger, me and my brother were in the movies as well. And then as we got older, my brother stayed in the industry, and I played sports in high school and
Okay.
university. And then my brother moved to Japan to pursue his career as well. And so like yeah.
So you worked on you were on a lot of sets, I guess, as a kid.
Yes. So I mean, it was a huge experience for me. I mean, like, it's just super lucky to be around like
Sure.
that
Yeah.
kind of environment. So
And you kind of learned how the meticulous process of seeing a stunt scene or an action scene, I guess.
exactly, yeah. And so like you could like even now as we work with like actors as well as action people, you can tell the difference between how to say people who've done martial arts or action compared with people who are just basically with an acting background.
Like when you see a scene, like when you see a stunt scene.
No, just how they move.
Okay, gotcha.
And so like it's kind of like a craft where you want to make the best scene possible, but kind of adapt to the person doing the scene, right? And with a limited amount of time, and like for example, some of these action scenes, we had prep time. For example, the one action sequence where it's 5 minutes long, a oneer.
Yeah,
It's
go
at
Wonder.
it's
Yeah,
a,
gotcha.
yeah, at the end of the movie. So like we only had actually three tries to complete that because of time constraint, because of the location, because
Yeah.
of all the people, everything like that. So we hired all people who know action and who could adjust on the fly, basically.
So you were in The Last Samurai, right?
Yes, yes, correct.
So Tom Cruise, I actually watched that film in the theater 20
Uh-huh.
odd years ago. I thought it
Uh-huh.
was fantastic when I watched it. How was that experience? That was I think it was Edward Zwick directed that, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
correct. Yeah, so like that was probably one of the biggest movie sets that I was
Yeah, it
on.
was a huge film, like Tom Cruise.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So I think it was somewhere around the lines of like 150 million or
Yeah,
200
it's a
million.
huge
I don't
film. Yeah,
remember.
yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, their prep time, like normally even in Japan, when we do action, sometimes, well, majority of the time, you get to the set and they will make the action for you, and then so you will do it on the spot.
Yeah,
But like for these types of long sequences, and you have a lot of prep time, we
yeah.
practice for about a month in New Zealand before we actually shot.
Okay.
And that's not including the prep time that we practiced in Japan. That was I think we practiced for over half a year in Japan just for those like action sequences and stuff.
And was Tom in the scene with you?
I was in the scene where I captured a group of us captured Tom.
Okay. That scene where he kills the guy and then he ends up spending time with the
Yes,
wife.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So I mean, I was in a few kind of like supporting role in near him or close to him, but yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, excellent experience.
Yeah, well, yeah, that must have been because it's a cool movie. I should
Yeah.
rewatch it and see if it holds up. I don't know if last time you've seen the film.
I think I saw it a few years back, like 4 years or something. Yeah. So I mean, I
Yeah,
love watching it because um, watching like any type of movie, you learn so many different aspects of like how to take the scene, right? Like
yeah,
camera movement, etc. But like to be there and know exactly how they shot it, and then go back and look at it,
yeah,
the
yeah,
whole
yeah,
movie.
totally.
Yeah. So it's like like they had a lot of greenback scenes, and with all like the couple hundred people that are actually in the shot,
Yeah.
but they took it in pieces, right? And they took it in blocks.
Yeah.
So I mean, if no one told you that that was all CG, then like it's like wow, they had like a couple thousand, extras or something like that. I mean, it's really cool to think about.
They probably make the film differently now, right? So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And what culturally did they get the film right from a
Yeah, they
cultural
tried. I
standpoint?
mean, they had a lot of consultants, and
Yeah.
a lot of times beforehand they had like Japanese advisors kind of consult them on if this is like culturally correct or incorrect, and um, also Ken Watanabe and then Hiroyuki Sanada, they would consult with them as well, like with the action and with
Gotcha.
how they would be cut and et cetera, et cetera. So I mean, they tried to keep it as authentic as possible.
Because it's like a Hollywood trope, or
Yeah,
back
yeah,
in the day where like the white guy comes into the culture, right, of the Asian or the South
yeah,
American culture and like makes them better, kind of a thing in a sense,
yeah,
right? It's kind of
yeah.
offensive to some, I guess, would be.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's a good, term because, only Hollywood can make these types of like huge budget films, right? I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
Japan, even if they tried, it wouldn't be 100 million. It'd probably be like, I think the one of the highest budget movies made is like around 20-30 million or something like that.
Okay.
So, you know, it's I think the scale is totally different. And sometimes you have to make it you want to keep it authentic, but then you have to kind of make it entertaining as well. But like Shogun is a good example, right? Shogun tried to keep it as 100% authentic as possible. So
Yeah. Well, that said, the Japanese film industry still it's still a pretty big industry.
yes,
Yeah.
correct. Yeah.
And you guys are competing with South Korea now, I hear, because like South Korea is making all
Yeah,
these big films, right?
yeah. So yeah, I think that's like as like I'm considered an outsider because I was born and raised
Sure.
in the U.S. But um, I would have to say, ever since I came to Japan like about 20 years ago, um, I felt like a slight decline in action movies in Japan.
Okay.
And so the decline is basically due to like the number of action movies actually made in Japan were slightly decreasing, budget wise, time wise, etc. And then at the same time, South Korea was like slowly going up,
Yeah.
and their quality as well. Like I love watching Korean movies as well. Yeah, their action scenes, their how they do their camera work is really closer to Hollywood nowadays. So yeah, I mean, I really respect that as well. So
Yeah. Well, like the Hollywood is paying attention, right? They like the Oscar wins, etc.
yeah,
Right? So yeah.
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 But hopefully, little by little, a lot of the Japanese movies as well. I mean, not little, but like the Japanese movies have gained popularity, and we have a lot of like anime, manga types of story based that are turning into movies, and
Yeah.
great action directors as well nowadays. So yeah, I think little by little it'll gain more popularity and more like recognition as well.
Well,
So
competition's good, right?
yeah, 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 definitely.
I think that's what's happening, right? Yeah.
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 So
Okay, so tell me about the this process of this film. Like lots of
uh,
like you called a lot of wonders, but you have a lot of long shots in your film. I guess that was the help. I'm assuming for like even for budgetary state sequences, you got a ton of actors in the film, right? So
yeah,
to get the film the
exactly.
day done, you got to use a lot of steady cam and
Yeah.
etc. I guess.
Yeah, so we had about I think the actual shoot time and days were about 20 days for the
Yeah.
whole shoot.
Okay. That's
And yeah, we didn't think at the very beginning we had that much action, but when we started shooting the action, then we realized, how do you say, it took longer than we expected because some of the people that were doing the action weren't like professional action people, they were actors.
Yeah.
And so, so we tried to balance that with, taking a little bit more time with them to shoot the action sequences, but with the better action actors, we wanted to take longer takes where we can show their, skills and their expertise as well. And it's easier for us, instead of cutting it, like just chopping it up.
Well, yeah, it's a, well, thematically for the film, it
Uh-huh.
works as well, right? Because
Yeah.
it's very intense and it's like
Yes.
it's almost like the camera is like its own little character in the film.
Yeah. So I mean, if you like, as well as, like, if you look at John Wick, they have a lot of oneers,
Yeah.
and like what other ones?
There's a huge John Wick influence in the film, like for
Yeah,
lighting, the
yeah,
way the lighting is, the
yeah,
costume, right? So yeah.
exactly. And like, another one I love is like Extraction. Have you ever
Okay.
seen Extraction? And so they do a lot of oneers as well. And so, I wanted to try to, how do you say, as an action based, a director, we love to watch, just the pure skill wise of the actors. And
Yeah.
so we don't like to cut it up so much. And so that's my kind of like, my way of thinking. I would like to show what the actor can do for real. And doing a oneer is like one of the ways to show their ability, show the audience how good these people are.
Yeah. So tell me about tell me about the cinematographer or the camera operator.
Uh-huh.
Tell me about talk to me about did you guys storyboard everything? How did you come up
Um,
with these scenes?
so yeah, so we basically I wrote I broke down the shots, and then I talked to the cinematographer, the DP, as well as the first AD, and well, everyone that was working behind the cameras, and we tried to block out as much ahead of time as possible. But some of the shots that we did, we had to do more on the fly because of time constraints. Like, inside those tunnels, we could only work for, I think it was like during the day for like 6 hours. So
Yeah.
we had to light it pretty quickly, and and then rehearse the scene, and then just shoot it, because I think we only had two days to shoot the whole tunnel scene. And so a lot of times, if we try to prep as much as possible, with the lighting and how we wanted the lighting. But yeah, some of the times we just like, basically me and the DP would like talk about it. Oh, like, this is the next shot. Can we get a little bit more like cinematic, more like, darker feel, et cetera, et cetera. And then he's all like, how about this light? How about this light? And then, yeah, we prep it, and then we just shoot it.
So who's your camera operator? Who did all?
So the main operator was the DP.
Okay.
And then, so if we only shot one camera, he would shoot it. And then, for example, the action sequence, when there's a lot of movements,
Yeah.
we actually had the fight coordinator shoot it. And
Okay.
then, if we had like multiple cameras, the DP would shoot one. Maybe the fight coordinator would shoot one, or I would shoot one.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
And so in the beginning of the film, where are you? Like in a hotel room? Like where's this location?
At the very beginning,
Like you
uh,
got a pool scene with the action fighter.
oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay. So this is a funny episode, because actually, when my dad first made his action school, it was not in Tokyo. It was in another city called Nagoya, which is more down south, right? And so half of our locations were in Nagoya, and that pool area and that underground, the headquarters for the Sikh. Um, it was actually the location of where the school was,
Okay.
and they actually closed down that pool and the gym. It was actually a sports club when I was working there, and it closed down. I think a year before we actually started shooting.
Okay.
And so I asked the owner of the place if we could, if he would let us use the location, and yeah, he let us use like the pool area, the underground area, like all the places. He was really kind to us. So
Yeah, it's kind of cool. They got the workout scene, right?
yeah,
It's
yeah,
kind of it's a good aesthetic.
yeah. So I mean, we wanted to try to keep a lot of the things, not bring up so many production design, but like have it pretty natural, the natural state it was, but we just rearranged it a little bit. So
Gotcha. And then you kind of have a little bit of a car chase sequence as well, right?
yes, so this, you know, we my image was not like that. It was actually supposed to be an actual car chase with like a car crash and everything like that. But it's not Hollywood, and it's not like budget wise in Japan to do a car action scene to get like permission from the city and everything like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it would cost too much. It would cost like our whole
sure.
budget basically. So
Yeah,
so we had to cheat that in sense and try to make it look like like a car action scene. So
yeah, because the action scenes in the film are so great. And like,
thank you.
are you speeding up the camera? I know you're slowing down the camera at
Uh,
certain moments. Are you
uh,
speeding up the camera a little bit during the fight sequences?
so yeah, some of the fight sequences, like with, especially with, I think it was with the female action actors.
Yeah,
I tried to make it look more enjoyable. So I would have to speed up their movements a little bit.
yeah.
However, with the main actors and with the guys, majority of the time it was natural speed, normal speed.
Yeah, because these guys are in fantastic shape, right?
Yeah,
And it's
yeah,
just
yeah,
amazing.
yeah. So I mean, they practiced the main actor as well as the other, like the bad guys and the other actor. I think they prepped. I want to say like 3 4 months ahead of time. So they were doing some of the action sequences and just like working out the kinks of everything, and on the day at the location they would like rehearse, just do like walkthroughs and stuff like that. But yeah, they're used to, I think, they're professionals, so they're used to like doing that kind of action sequences.
I like the idea of I'm sure this has been done before, but it reminded me of Mission Impossible where
Mhm.
they combine two action scenes into one, right? So
Uh-huh.
you got an action scene happening here, and then we're going to cut over here, and then we're going to cut
Yeah,
back,
yeah,
and it's like
yeah.
the audience is like, "What's going on?" It's like,
Yeah,
and I just I know I'm assuming it's been done before Mission Impossible, but
yeah, yeah,
to really do that in that movie, and it's like, and all of a sudden a half hour goes by, and it's like, whoa,
yeah,
right? Like, yeah,
yeah.
really nice touch on your film.
Thank you. So like, even before I'm a filmmaker, I'm a movie fanatic. So like, if I'm watching an action movie, like if it's 2 hours long and it's just dragging along,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna be like, I'll probably be fast forwarding it. So like, I totally understand, as like a movie lover, you want like 90 minutes to like just like fly by as fast as it can, and so like you're thinking at the end of the movie, oh wow, maybe I should watch it again, because like that action sequence was really cool, and the time just it just like,
yeah.
how do you say, so smooth to come in and go out basically.
It basically the audience is very sophisticated now, right?
Yeah,
So they've
yeah,
seen a lot, and it kind of really kind of shows the authenticities of like and especially like I like these films,
Uh-huh.
you know, because like there's so much CGI, there's so much
Yeah.
like phony graphics, right? Where
Yeah.
this is real. You can see that. And just to go back to Mission Impossible, that's what they do in
Yeah.
that film, where like
Yeah.
there's no CGI, there's no phoniness. It's like
Yeah.
they're doing the scenes, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I mean that that's the idea that we wanted to try to express to the audience. Like, um, go back to the old days, like in like the 70s, the 80s, where they actually did everything for
Yeah.
real, and so that kind of I think transcends to the audience where they feel, oh wow, it's dangerous. Oh wow, they're really risking their lives to do this, and so there's that kind of connection with the audience, I think.
So is the entire scene like did you ever use a tripod in the film?
Oh yeah, we did. We did, but like, just like minimal, like where they're, for example, when two actors are talking at like the restaurant, yeah, we'll
Yeah.
use a
But even there's
tripod.
movement in those scenes too, right? So
Yeah, yeah, a little movement, but I mean, I tried to create like a balance where, like, I wanted things to move fast, but like, when the actors are, kind of conversing, and I wanted to make those scenes more like, calmer in sense.
yeah.
Yeah. So
All right, so you're setting up in the film, you're setting up future films, right?
exactly. Yes.
Okay.
So, this is the thing. We're actually I'm actually prepping for the sequel right now as we speak.
Oh
And
wow, okay.
we're planning to shoot it this summer.
Same crew, same actor.
Uh, well, same actor, same main actor, or actually not only the main actor. There's a few actors that are the same, and then we're adding new actors as well. The crew is basically the same. I mean, we have few adjustments here and there, but yeah.
So the plot is that he works for like a non a covert non-government espionage group in
Yes,
Japan.
exactly. Yes.
Do these
So
things
kind of,
happen in real life?
so yeah, I think it's a little bit fictional in sense, because the Japanese government doesn't have that many like non-governmental, like, covert groups.
As
Um,
we don't know, right? I'm just
yeah, but I mean, I'm pretty sure, like all the research that I've done.
yeah.
But it's kind of like the idea of when, like there were ninjas back in the day in feudal Japan. They weren't actually, they were hired by the government, but then they weren't officially, government officials or whatever like that. So they were like basically like assassins, or what hitmen for hire, basically.
Yeah. So
So
I'm curious, what did your dad think of the film?
yeah, I haven't asked him yet. So
Oh,
just
really?
yeah, because basically right now I'm sending it out to all like the film festivals, and then I'm actually talking to
Hmm.
distributors outside of Japan first, and then yeah, and then we're gonna probably after we finish the tour like overseas, then we'll probably show it in Japan. So yeah, it's not for a little while. So
Oh, okay. So you're
yeah,
kind of like doing the loop and you're
yes,
bringing it back home.
yes, exactly.
But you said you have an older brother. Does he work in the industry still?
He was actually in the movie. He was the like the head boss, bad guy at the
Okay.
very end.
So I guess he does.
Yes. So yeah, because he does action, and he's really famous in Japan as well as overseas. So I asked him if he would do me a hard one, and be in the movie for me, and he's all like, yeah, no problems. So
Well, that's nice of him. And so you're like you're settled. You live in Japan, I guess.
yes, yes, exactly.
Because I've heard this before. This is like I've heard of people like they live in Los Angeles, they grow up, and then they go back to Japan, and it's
Uh-huh.
like yeah. Well, your dad, I'm assuming, did the opposite, right? Like he grew up in,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so he grew up in Japan, and then he went to LA after, I think, was it 18? Yeah, 18 or 19. And then he wanted to become uh he didn't actually want to become or work in films until after he got to America, I think. And then so he started teaching like karate, and then he figured out, like, in order to get more students, he had to become more famous, right? And then so like he started going to tournaments and winning tournaments, and then he figured, oh, just winning tournaments is not enough. I should, kind of sell my face, sell my name more. And so then he started getting to movies.
And then he taught his sons karate too.
Exactly. So at a young age, we learned karate, as well as we learned other martial arts in LA, like uh, judo, kendo. We did gymnastics. We took acting lessons. Yeah, we basically a lot of different things. So
And you set you up for success, I guess.
yes, and so that, I mean, that's why, like, doing martial arts and doing action for all my life, it's kind of, you really appreciate the things that your parents did for you, or the people ahead of you have done for you. And
Yeah.
so you just want to kind of like pay your respects to them by making the best quality thing that you could do.
So if someone's learning karate and they're
Mm,
young,
mm.
what's the thing you look for? What qualities you look for in a good student?
So yeah, I think it's ability is really important, right? But
Yeah,
it's
I
not,
guess. Yeah.
because like you could teach someone for like 20 years, right? And their ability wise maybe not so good. It would take them so long to kind of like uh understand the principles of things, right? Okay. But like if you teach someone that can pick up on things really fast, that could be good. However, it's all about attitude.
Okay.
Like, the attitude of respect, wanting to learn, not only the basics, but the people that have done karate before you, what they went through, all the hardships, and you
Yeah.
you have to like kind of like honor that kind of mentality, I think. So
Respect, I think.
exactly. Yes.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense, right? So,
Yes.
and I always like I don't know I don't know nothing about anything. I always what I see is like it seems to be needs to be context of why you're doing everything, right? Why you're
Exactly.
doing the kata or why you're doing a certain
Yes.
move.
Yes.
Like someone has that extra insight with like, okay, there's a reason for everything, I guess.
Yes. So I mean, whenever someone's doing like a kata, like a form,
Yeah.
you can tell by the movement, by their, how do you say, their aura, if they truly understand what they're doing.
Yeah,
Each
exactly.
move
Yeah.
has a meaning.
Yeah. They're not going through the motions, I guess, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
that's hard too, right? That all comes down to like caring, I guess, right?
yes, and I think that has, that's a connection not only in martial arts but in acting as well. You can totally connect with the people who actually, are not just acting, but they are, how do you say, doing that person. They are that person. And
Yeah.
so I think it's similar in every aspect, like work, uh acting, movies, just everyday life. So
Well, on that note, I love your film's great. I wish the ultimate best of success. I know it's like
thank you.
not easy doing a independent feature film, but an independent feature film with 40 actors or 50 actors like you had with
Thank you.
tons of action sequences, and you're kind of like you're kind of having to make it with people having that Hollywood mentality, right?
Yes.
Where like you have to like John Wick, for example, you're using kind of similar tropes, but you don't
Yes.
have like we talked about Last Samurai, you don't have the $100 million to make the movie, right?
Yes, I wish, but no.
But the audience still has that expectation in their
Uh,
minds, right?
yes, yes, exactly. So I mean, that's my goal. Like even though we don't have the big budget, it's a matter of heart. Like what you want to kind of express to the audience and show them how hard you worked and how everyone's working so hard, but like with a limited amount of money.
Yeah. And you have to, and there's a story too. You have to have, we have to care about there's got to be reasoning
Yes,
for the action sequence. There's got to be a
exactly,
purpose why you're doing the action sequences, right?
exactly. So I mean, I want to make as not only for people all over the world, but also in Japan. I want to make high quality movies, not only action movies, but movies.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think you succeeded. So I
Thank you
hope it
very
gets some
much.
distribution. I hope it gets everything you want. Seems like you're ready to make the sequel already, which is
Yes,
amazing. So
thank you.
good luck with the festival circuit.
Thank you so much. Thank you for
Thank
taking
you.
the time to do this
Yeah,
podcast
from the
with me.
short, like in our
Uh-huh,
world, we from the short proof of
uh-huh.
concept, and now you got the feature. That's amazing.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's talk again soon when you make your sequel.
Yes, definitely. I'll send it to you guys again.